How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered, where we are trying to get the true ending for Heaven's Feel, and we are in the final fight, a fist fight between Kotomine and Shirou, two more or less walking corpses. His palm slams into me. That doesn't change no matter how my body is changed. His attack, aimed at doing internal rather than external damage, ruthlessly sends shockwaves through me. The battle is overwhelming. The enemy dodges, repels, and traps my fists, all while making me eat all of his attacks. Pure white mangles my vision every time Kotomine's fists clang off my body. It isn't the damage from his attacks, but from the pain of my left arm repairing and overriding my injured body. There's also like a whole bunch of, blades and shit just protruding from Shirou here. I protect my head. My face alone hasn't turned to steel yet. This could end with a single blow to my head. I can't hit him with my fists, so I use both my arms to protect my head. My sense of pain is long gone, and my eyesight is about to blink out too. The pain transmitted to my brain comes only from my left arm's invasion of my body. His bloody fists pulverize every square centimeter of my frame. I work my left arm to try and repair it, and everything goes white. Images and memories become irreturnably white. It hurts even to think now. I sprout blades to protect my destroyed body from dying. In exchange, my brain is shaved away. Which of us will end first? His fists and bones are broken. He endures it, his face twists in pain, and continues striking me. I dodge the blows and attack with my right fist. It gets blocked. There's a simultaneous impact to my left armpit. I endure the blade stabbing my brain and attack again. I can still move. I can't move anymore. This is the... That hurt. That one got me. My body shouldn't be able to feel pain anymore, but I nearly weep at the pain throughout my body. I'm flung back, crashing into a fallen boulder, and barely stop myself from going over the cliff. Can't stand. If the impact hurt this bad, the pain to my brain trying to remake my body would be unimaginable. It's over. In one more second, I'll give in to the pain and burn out, and I won't be able to think anymore. If I sleep before then, if I close my eyes, it... The enemy walks over. He can't run away anymore either. It wouldn't surprise me if we both disappeared 1 minute from now. Then I'm... You swore an oath. You swore to protect someone. Live. She said that both of us were needed to save her. You lost something. You lost something for that purpose. The enemy approaches. He drags his feet toward me to crush my head. Like hell. I won't lose. This man doesn't have a goal. He's just living the only way he knows how. But I have it. I have a goal. I have a good reason to kick his ass and win. I don't know how long I made her cry. Sakura's been crying in a place I don't know. I don't know why we're forgetting her name if we can remember her face. She always cried alone and only ever smiled in front of me. That's right. So I have to protect her. I'll protect Sakura from the sins she committed, the sins blaming her, and the sins she remembers. Hey, if I know her name, Shirou might not be able to, but I'll try to fill in the blanks. The girl who could only smile in front of me. The girl who said that she would protect me in a body with no future. I want to help her smile happily one day, even when I'm not around. Uh-oh. That's starting to look a lot more demonic. And you're in the way of that. Fuck off. Sakura will never smile again as long as you're alive. One blow. The enemy comes to crush my head, and I punch his face with all my might. Two blows. 3 blows. 4 blows. 5 blows. 6 blows. 7 blows. I punch, 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 punch. This is the end. If I let him go, there's no future. I need to put everything I have left into this miracle, this chance. I'm flung back. He easily ducks my suicidal punch and makes me pay hard for it. Damn it. That's right, he won't let me hit him that easily. And he's many times stronger than me. So of course he'll parry my attacks effortlessly and come to finish me off. Yeah, so what? I can't overcome the difference in fighting strength. Life isn't that easy. The enemy knocks me to the ground and comes to crush my head. I'll lose, I'll lose, I'll lose, I'll lose. That much is self-evident. But I can still move my body. The enemy's shadow looms over me, blocking my path. And then I take my disobedient legs, yeah, my right leg won't even budge, and ignite them into motion. It's not going to end here. I can't dodge the enemy's attacks with these legs. Death is a second away. I dodge it as best as I can. The man in front of me stops, his extended fist not quite reaching my face. He looks down at his own chest. The dark stain area is where his heart should be. A difference in time, really. He must have started dying just slightly before me in the forest. He's just like before, when I first met him in the church. He talks about everything like it doesn't matter to him. The final master. His words carry a profound weight, but he says them in his usual unchanging tone. Of course he does. He'll never change, even in his last moments. He's still my detestable enemy, even as he crumbles away. Did he laugh at the end? My nearly scrap metal eyes are useless. This time, the priest really does leave this awful world. No one mourns him. Oh, nice. We got an achievement for witnessing Kodamine's death. Actually, no, it was for the fist fight. I breathe, taking in just enough oxygen to move. I can only move my throat once. I don't feel happiness or suffering. My 5 senses have already turned to iron. No matter how hard I tried, my mind failed to stay intact. Time to go. One last job. Is it going to go down similarly to in the other ending, where we just kind of blow everything up? I guess that's how things actually kind of went down. There was no, like, cinematic end fight against Kodamine. He kind of just got involved with, like, you know, the robotic movements that Shirou made as he kind of didn't exist already. I unseal my left arm. My consciousness is almost gone. One last projection. I'll make the strongest sword I know and destroy the entire Greater Grail and this curse. And this is the absolute end. Ilya is apparently here somewhere too. No, it's not okay. If I use this, there's no going back. I already know that I'm going to disappear. Still, as long as I have my life, I need to find another way. I made a promise to protect Sakura from everything. I can't allow my life to be snuffed out so easily. I want for Sakura to live. I want to live with Sakura. So these little mistakes here at the end are really throwing off the mood here. But there's no other way. Sakura's sins, destroying this curse is the absolute condition to let her be happy. My mind is down to a few grains of sand. Sakura, will keep a sword in my hand. With body can't last. No, there's Ilya. That's someone's voice. I can't remember her name. Oh, but we can remember Kotomine just fine. I say her name even though I can't remember it. I feel that I have to say it. If I don't, well, whoever will never come. I don't know who he's describing there, but... I think Shirou living on after all this would be pretty cool if he's not necessarily, like, permanently disabled and, you know, stuck with a bunch of blades protruding from his body. That'd be pretty cool. I want to live. What's her name? I have to say her name and stop her. But I want to live. I know that she will disappear if I nod. What's her name? I wish from the bottom of my heart to live. What are you talking about, idiot? Just come back. If you go any further, you won't be able to. I'll take that thing down with me, so damn it, what's your name? I have to remember your name, it's precious. I'm turning so dumb, your name. He really tried there at the end. Don't do it. You don't have to show me, just come back. She moves into the middle. Someone in a white dress becomes a sacrificial key and closes the Greater Grail, just like the very first ritual. Honestly, like, Ilya really, you know, she came full circle here, you know? Or maybe not full circle, but our perception of her has completely changed, and I'm glad that we got a more satisfying end for her compared to what we saw in Fate, where she was just kind of hanging around, Unlimited Blade Works, where she just kind of, you know, died to Gilgamesh. Here, she got to serve whatever purpose that she was created for. And then some. She kind of got to go into, like, her own direction with it, it seems. Don't go. If you care about me, don't go. I can't sacrifice you. I said that we would live together, that I'd make up for all the time you spent alone. But But if someone's going to be a sacrifice, then it should be...
言ったよね。兄貴は妹を守るもんなんだって。ええ。私はお姉ちゃんだもん。なら、弟を守らなくっちゃ。
I remember her name. Kiritsugu's real blood relative, excuse me. The little girl whom I replaced, leaving her all alone. She's a girl with red eyes and silver hair and a little older than me. Oh, there she goes. I can't reach her. She can't hear my voice. I'm bathed in light and I can't see. At the end, she... Well, that's sad. She said goodbye, smiled, and shut the door to the Greater Grail. That's it. Goodbye, Ilya. But I guess it's better than whatever possibly happened. Oh, wait, hold on. The sage cries out, "Open, gates of heaven, bless us and bestow miracles upon us." The curtain closes. Millennium comes to a standstill. I can't read all this. The stars fall out of sky. Space closes up into nothingness. Pathway to the center. Sins something. Yeah, okay, I can't read all this. Okay, what I was going to say is... I don't even remember what I was going to say. Shit, that completely threw me off. Oh well. It's probably nothing important. But I will miss her. Ilya was cool. Like, I genuinely was looking forward to, like, the times even in the Fate route that we got to hang out with Ilya. And I'm glad that we kind of got to go through that again, and there was an even better payoff for it here in this route. I see the sky. For just a moment, I lift my arm up and reach into the sky. But nothing is left. There isn't a single bit of power left in this body. I'm sinking. The life she saved is sinking. I clench my fist in frustration. There's cold pain in the palm of my hand. It awakens my sinking mind.
大丈夫。リンが助けてくれるから。
Yeah. There's a tiny miracle in the palm of my hand. One breath of magical energy. It's completely useless. But the small, small pendant will make sure that someone saves me if I reach out with my hand. I reach out. I feel soft air and warm sunshine on my skin. My hand takes hold of the endless sky. I mean, that sure is a sky. Well, we're not dead, so there's that plus side there. And into the epilogue we go. Here we go, gamers.
疲れた。
I set my travel bag overstuffed with gifts on the ground and stretch for a few seconds. The sky today is crystal clear, and the spring sunshine feels great. No question. It's bright for my eyes that got used to the interior of the plane, but that's a small price to pay considering I just got back from a long trip.
あ、ベールでなくなってる。代わりに映画館なんてできたんだ。しばらく見ないうちに変わったな。
Well, looks like some time has passed here for this epilogue. I look out at the town while loosening my shoulders. The trip from London to this... Oh, wow. Okay. So, I think this is going, you know, a year or so into the future. The trip from London to this provincial Japanese city took 25 hours. I feel cramped after being stuffed into an airplane seat for that long. My butt hurts and I even bumped my head on the ceiling when we landed.
エコノミーどころの話じゃないわよね。せめてまっとうな旅行会社を使えばよかった。
Well, that's my plan for whenever I go to Japan next year. Moral of the story, don't cheap out on long-haul travel. Even if I'm strapped for cash and my rival for class leader... What?
あら、ミスト大阪。お金に困っているのなら、私好きのメイドにしてあげてもよろしくてよ。4番街のしみったれた悪趣味カフェのウェイトレス1年分の月給は保証しますわ。ああ、そう。 言っておきますけど、割と本気ですから。
I wonder if this is
朝一
the
で編入届を出してきなさいね。
if this is one of the characters that were shown in the epilogue of the Unlimited Blade Works anime. It wouldn't do to be a cheapskate while returning to my home country. Yeah, I'll make sure to do that next time. I have a round-trip ticket, so I'll put up with that rundown jet one last time on the way back.
バスは20分待ちか。まあ、面倒だし歩いていこう。
I heave my backpack with both hands and start walking. It's an hour's walk to the house. It'll take a while, but I still have plenty of time until we're supposed to meet, so this is perfect.
懐かしいな。海沿い。
I narrow my eyes against the wind, listening to cars go by. Yeah, I'm home. In the year I've been... Okay, so I was right. In the year I've been gone, my hometown looks kind of different, but it hasn't changed at all. I react to the mundane, formerly familiar scenery of my town with alternating boredom and surprise while I walk the path home. This is my first annual visit home since I left to study in London. Just walking through the town after a year makes me happy, and it feels fun for no reason. Though the mood is slightly spoiled by my stupidly heavy bag.
よし。まあ、こんなんで OK かな。
I take a shower and check myself in the mirror to make sure nothing's wrong. I'm not really doing it for anyone's benefit, but it feels right to pay a little attention to my looks after being gone for a whole year. Ah, okay, maybe there's one person who would side-eye me if I didn't, but I'll ignore it for today. The house is prettier than I remember, and I can't spot a single speck of dust. Who's been keeping up here? Like, who's been maintaining the quality here? Sakura might still be cleaning it from time to time. There we go. I appreciate that, I do, but...
あの子、変なことにここを使ってないわよね。なんか記憶にないシャンプーがあったんだけど。
Sarah's getting a drink. Shampoo belongs in the bath. Not in the library, not in the kitchen. Not at the front door, and not in the garden. Well, it's nothing to worry about really, but it's still pretty suggestive.
もう3時じゃない。ああ、もう2時間も何してたんだ私。
Why would shampoo be in any of those locations, really? Or is it not even shampoo? I dash to the front door, try on my pumps for a change, decide it's tacky, and run out the door in my normal shoes. Pumps? We're supposed to meet at 4 o'clock. I was hoping to get there early and scout out the enemy, but now I'm at a disadvantage with my messed up hair. It's regrettable, but I'll just have to challenge them head on. Oh, I know where we're going. Haha, there we go. It's a sentimental moment in a lot of ways, but now that I'm here, I rid myself of distracting thoughts and want to head inside as soon as possible. I go through the front gate and walk up to the house door. Then I ring the doorbell. It makes a silly ding-dong and the door rattles open. Oh. Huh. Okay. Okay. What? Wow. What's the surprise, you ask? Ryder just answered the door in regular clothes. Yeah, that did happen. I have this conflict going on in my heart and my brain right now, guys.
ただいま。ちょっと早いけど帰ってきたわ。さくらはいる？ライダー。
ええ。さくらは部屋で。タイガは居間で待っています。
藤村先生もいるんだ。で、春休みだから当然か。じゃあ、お邪魔します。とりあえず居間に行けばいい？
はい。私はさくらを呼んできます。
How is Ryder still here? I'm gonna have a lot of questions here, but I'm sure we'll get to them. I go into the hallway. On the way to the living room, I steal a glance at Ryder. Should I call this a well-laid ambush? I know she was a beauty cursed by the gods, but it really stands out when she's dressed in normal clothes. to be frank, she's supermodel tier. Yeah, I kind of have to agree. Like, night and day difference compared to the writer that we're used to seeing, honestly. When a woman thinks another woman is beautiful, she really means it. I met a lot of pretty women overseas, but I haven't come across anyone on writer's level yet. She's more than human, though, so it makes sense, I guess. Anyway, she's a legitimate servant. If a Euliphus mage saw her, she'd have to take 3 days off from work, and if you told them that she's a familiar, they'd lock themselves in their altiere for a whole month.
リン、私に話があるのですか?
No, just admiring.
そうね。あれから調子はどう？少しは今の状態に慣れた？
そうですね。2年前に比べれば安定しています。リンがいなくなってからは不安定でしたが、1月ほど前から安定しだしました。さくらもコツをつかんだようです。
Are we talking about Shirou here?
そう。まあ、ライダーとさくらは相性がいいから心配はしてなかったけど、さくらに黙って血なんて取ってないでしょうね。
I'm not really scolding her. She can drink if she wants to, but I worry about whether she's following up properly.
それこそ心配無用です。さくらに知られるような真似は決して。
That's a weird way to answer it, but I'll let it slide if she isn't causing any trouble. It's just my bad habit as a mage. A familiar like Ryder is way too valuable, so I pretend to overlook some mischief. And mischief there seems to be.
リンには相談事もありますので、夜に時間を作っていただけますか？
内緒話ならここじゃなくてうちでしましょう。今夜はこっちに泊まるから明日の夜でいい？
Ryder nods quietly and leaves for Sakura's room. But then she pauses.
お帰りなさい、リン。
ありがとう。留守中苦労かけたわね、ライダー。
This is so weird. What the fuck? She smiles back at me and goes off to the tatami room. Wow, she really is beautiful, among other things, yes. I'm just kind of surprised by the interaction
いらっ
there.
しゃい、遠坂さん。元気そうで何よりね。
はい、お邪魔します。藤村先生もお変わりないようで安心しました。今日は部活動休みですか？
今日は遠坂さんが来るって聞いてたからずる休み。ま、今年の首相はしっかりしてるし、今日は新入生対策の会議だから問題ないわ。
新入生対策？部員減ったんですか？弓道部。
増えたよ。ほら、去年はさくらちゃんが首相になってたでしょ。それで男の子は増えたんだけど、女の子が定員に届いてないのよ。
Oh, that is problematic.
で、遠坂さんは卒業したから知らないか。ま、今年はかっこいい男の子が首相だから、うまく立ち回ればどっさり入ってくるだろうけどね。
はあ、かっこいい男の子って誰です？
三辻さんの弟さん。これがまあ、姉さんとは正反対の小心者なのよ。部活紹介でステージになって立ったら金縛りに遭うわね、絶対。
I do have to say, like, if there's, only a few things to be, disappointed by in these stories, in these routes that we've been given here, it's that we've never really seen much of Mitsuzuri. She's brought up in the very beginning of, like, maybe all these routes in some sort of way. Like, she's just kind of utilized very briefly, and then that's sort of it, I wish that there was more to her, but at the end of the day, she's just a regular human, There is no purpose for her. It's kind of like how I thought about Sakura at first, where she was completely uninvolved in the war, therefore we never saw her. Doesn't that mean you picked the wrong person to lead? Well, Kyoto has a pretty strict image, so girls might go for something with a softer appeal. But still, Ayoko's brother, huh? I never even knew that she had a brother.
それであっちの暮らしはどうなの？日本人だからっていじめられてない？ほら、美大の子ってライバル心だけで友人関係成立してるじゃない？
藤村先生、それは偏見です。芸術を信奉する人間にそのような供給差はありません。
あ、怒られちゃった。
I can't bring myself to tell her that they only care about themselves. On top of that, my department would crank her anxiety up to 100%, so I won't bring it up. What? Then, I see Miss Fujimura giving me a meaningful grin, among other things there.
なんでしょう、藤村先生。
遠坂さん綺麗になったなって。一皮むけたっていうか、大人になったっていうか。向こうでいい人でもできた？
Probably not. Anyone nice? Why do girls always end up talking about this stuff? And she's weirdly perceptive.
なんか手応えあり。どうなのよ。花のロンドンでしょ。こうパーッと出会った瞬間に謎の組織に追われて手をつないで大脱走。残り10分あたりでロンドン橋が炎上してキスしてお別れとかしちゃってたら承知しないぞ。
いえ、別にそういうことはないです。
I think she's been reading a few too many books and watching a few too many movies.
じゃあいい話は一切なし？
そういうわけではないんですが、まあできそうというかできないというか。
I can't help but give a half-hearted answer, and that's not what she's looking for either. I accepted some invitations of that kind, and I would like to have a research partner soon. But I just can't get serious about any of them. When I try dating a guy, my thoughts always go to some other idiot and I can't concentrate. Every day I've been racking my brain about it. I hate to admit it, but I might actually be head over heels for him. No. No way. Can't be. Nuh-uh.
Sakura ちゃん。
I jolt upright in my seat. God damn. Okay, she's looking good. Sakura looks confused. Wow, she hasn't changed at all.
はい、元気だった、さくら。
Sakura nods. Her face lights up.
おかえりなさい、姉さん。元気そうで嬉しいです。
So how much does Fujimura know about everything here? Like, I mean, obviously she's not entirely aware of Reen's circumstances over in London, other than going to school in London. Specifics seem to be not all there for her. Or that, I guess you could say, a bit of a lie. But what has she been told for this, you know? And she celebrates my return with a radiant smile. It's probably not important, honestly. We spend an hour together. We trade stories about things that happened in the year I've been gone, and happily chit-chat about silly things.
そっか、さくらもう卒業したんだね。それで進路はどうするの？うちに来るなら私から紹介状でっち上げるけど。そうですね。嬉しいけど遠慮しておきます。今はこっちでやることがあるし、勉強なら見てくれる人がいますから。手紙にあった綺麗な後釜か。まあ人のいいじいさんみたいだし、うちに来るよりはマシだろうけど、たまには外に出て冒険してみないとダメになるわよ。ただでさえあんたは怠け性なんだから、教師は生きのいいのじゃないと。それなら大丈夫です。代打すごく厳しいから、ちょっと怠けるとですね、すっごく怖い顔するんです。ああ、いや、そりゃ怖いでしょう、彼女。
She's got mystic eyes of petrification after all. If she got seriously angry and used her power, it wouldn't stop at just her clothes. Wait, Miss Fujimura looks a little down.
藤村先生。
何？ごめんなさい、聞いてなかった。
いえ、そういうのではないのですが、急に黙り込んでしまったから気に。
さくらちゃんと遠坂さんを見てるとシローのこと思い出しちゃって。今いればすごくラッキーなのに、あの子ったら肝心なところで損してるんだから。
So where is Shirou?
ああ、帰り遅いよね、シロー。いつになったら帰ってくるのかな。
Miss Fujimura holds her cup of tea, staring out the window. Her eyes look distant. She gazes out at the pleasantly cloudless blue sky.
あれ、なんか変な雰囲気になっちゃったわね。
A little bit. But I want to know where he's at, what he's, been up to. What's his situation like?
そんなことないですよ。 藤村先生が先輩の話をしてくれるのは嬉しいです。
She will still call Shirou senpai as well.
ダメよさくらちゃん。さくらちゃんにとってシュローはもう先輩でも何でもないんだから。まあそれはともかく、急に体を動かしたくなったから道場で素振りでもしてくるわ。
You do that. That's very strange, but you go ahead and do that. Miss Fujimura excuses herself. Maybe she's just trying to be polite. I think that's the case there. Now then, I'm happy she's being considerate, but it's gonna be hard to make small talk now.
まあいいか。こっちまで気を使うことないものね。聞いておくべきことは聞いておかないと。で、さくら、あんたの方はどうなのよ。あれから2年、なんとかやっていけそう？はい。少しずつですけど、いろいろなことを素直に受け止められるようになりました。罪の意識で潰されるのは逃げなんだって。私は私のできることをして少しずつ頑張っていこうと思います。そっか。ちょっと見てきたけど街も完全に元通りだものね。2年前の傷跡は消えていて、おかしな事件ももう起こらない。私の役目をさくらに押し付けて教会に行っちゃったけど、それはそれでよかったってことか。はい。姉さんの代わりは大変でした。おかげでこの1年間ずっと強くなれた気がします。
She must mean mentally, not magically. Yeah, it's better for people to act than to sit on their worries.
けど、そういう姉さんはどうなんですか？なんかいろいろゴタゴタしてたって聞いてますけど。私？ゴタゴタしてたって言えばしてたけど。
Where do I even begin? Looking back, it all started 2 years ago. The Holy Grail War. 2 years have passed since T, Sakura, and I got involved in the war. The Greater Grail collapsed and the foundation of the Holy Grail War disappeared. The quest for the Holy Grail in this land was sealed off, and Fuyuki finally returned to peace. It did, but not for me. The string of incidents happened on mage territory. The land of Fuyuki belongs to the Tosakas, but that's only with the approval of the association, so it doesn't completely belong to us. It's a cardinal rule of the Mages Association to keep all mystics hidden, and we shattered it. First, the collateral damage of the Holy Grail War was enormous. Second, the master sent by the association was assassinated. And to top it off, the association detected a swirl of the root. Well, the first two were Kirie's responsibility, and he was the overseer sent by the association, so we had that excuse. But we couldn't do anything about the third problem. The Holy Grail caused a gate to appear. Rituals concerning the root are under the purview of the Mages Association. From their point of view, we basically committed a war crime. One day, something resembling a swirl of the root was suddenly detected in the Far East, and while they were being happy and surprised, it vanished just as suddenly. The people in charge were plenty pissed that a gate was open, but they really wanted to tear us a new one for letting it close after it succeeded. And so, while I was struggling with the mop-up, they brought me to the heart of the association in London, England. And that's how I stood trial in a meeting room housing about 300 people. They told me how the lords of each department would come, how stray mages would come to pick up the pieces of the Tosaka after my sentencing, and so on. A bit of a dog and pony show, if you ask me.
私もここまでか。こうなったら教会と反目している中東圏に逃げ込むか、日本で徹底抗戦だ。
And that's what I was ready to do. And when I was readying my escape, I learned that God giveth just as he taketh away. At Rin Tosaka's indictment hearing,
いや、弟子の不始末は私の責任でもある。
an old man just a little more senior than most people in charge showed up for the first time in centuries and cleared me of all charges. Of course, he didn't take any punishment on my behalf. The world of mages operates on equivalent exchange, give and take. And the old man said, of all things,
よかろう。では弟子を取ることにする。享受するのは3人までだ。各部門協議の末、 見込みのあるものを選出せよ。
He dropped an utter bombshell. Who is this guy? I mean, a missing magician appeared and said that he would take apprentices. The conference was in chaos. They stopped caring about an insignificant bug like me and went scrambling for days and nights to select candidates. It was a huge commotion. Then the old man turned to me while I was standing there awestruck and...
というのはお前の国の言葉だったな。遠坂は最も目のない教え子だったが、わずか6代でたどり着くとは。
graced me with that remark.
何のことでしょう、大師父。
I asked timidly. After all, I thought he would kill me if he noticed me. Magicians don't leak their magic to other people. My instincts told me that they would ruthlessly eliminate those who approach their miracles. But you should never underestimate your enemy. The gemstone grandpa patted me on the head and complimented me there.
連中を利用してやれ。ここは窮屈な場所だが、道具だけは揃っておる。
As expected of the Grandmaster. Being someone who travels to all kinds of parallel worlds, he's open-minded. Yeah. To tell the truth, I can recreate the jeweled sword. I understood the blueprints and the theory during that battle, so if I have enough time and resources, I can make an imitation of magic. Still, I would need serious funds to pull it off. It's more than I could gather in a year or two, no, a decade or two. And that's how I got off scot-free. I even got a free ride to the clock tower to top it off. After I graduated high school, I made Sakura the administrator of Fuyuki and promptly left for London. It's been a year since then. Life at the clock tower has been an ordeal, but like Sakura, I'm very slowly expanding my own territory.
そうですか。それで姉さん、エミヤの家、問題になってないわ。報告にはあげてないし、キレイも巻き込まれて死亡した一般人としか記録してなかった。幸か不幸か、あいつのことを知っているのは私とあなただけってこと。
The mood's a little heavy. After the battle, I survived thanks to Ryder carrying me and Sakura to the surface. Ryder took me back to the Tosaka house where I replenished my magical energy. As long as I have magical energy, the Tosaka magic crest will keep me alive whether I like it or not. I couldn't eat for a while, but I recovered quickly. Sakura had to deal with after effects of being connected to Anrimayu, and, well, she was hopeless for a while once he was gone. She didn't panic, nor did she brood. She kept pretending everything was fine, like he would come home someday. To be honest, it would have been easier for me to treat her if she'd snapped instead. But it's all in the past now. Life has slowly changed over the days and months. Sakura graduated and said that she'd stay in Fuyuki for a while. I'm going to use up all of my vacation time here. I'll have to go back to London in a week. What did I expect when I came back to this house? For a year, no, for 2 years, so much has happened here. My memory goes back a year, but I actually spent a lot of time here before I graduated. Is that why? Did I think that if I turned to look at the kitchen, he'd be standing there holding a kitchen knife with a bored expression? The rookie mage who got caught up in the Holy Grail War. He fought to the very end and won. And for his trouble...
ただいま。いや、悪い悪い。一世から檀家のお供え物を分けてもらってたら遅くなっちまった。
Hello. He ended up looking totally fine. Is that the first time we've ever seen his sprite? He looks ridiculous. But, you know what, it fits him. Shirou comes into the living room carrying a veritable mountain of shopping bags. Of course, our eyes meet.
よ、相変わらず元気そうだな。
Oh no, I'm gonna laugh. It's obvious that he took a deep breath in the hallway and is trying his best to play it cool.
久しぶりね。相変わらず抜けてるみたいじゃない、そっちは。
Wait, what? Why am I saying the same thing back to him? Now Sakura is giggling at both of us.
先輩、無理して強がってると余計姉さんに笑われますよ。 まあ姉さんも同じように意地を張ってるからおあいこですけど。
Now she's saying something scary.
別に無理なんてしてない。遠坂は家族なんだから、うちにいるのは当たり前だろ。何も特別なことなんてない。
Still, he came in holding a massive amount of groceries. Good grief. Why'd you buy so much? We can't finish it all, dummy.
そうね、緊張して損しちゃった。こいつなんにも変わってないし。はい、先輩はなんにも変わってません。
Now, he's making that face that he says, or that says that he's got something to say, but decides not to bother. We've seen that from his perspective.
それより遠坂、今晩は飯食っていくんだろ。
It's always that inner monologue with him, you know?
ええ、泊まる気満々だけど。
そっか。じゃあ休んでろ。長旅で疲れただろ。晩飯はこっちで片付けるから、さくらとお茶飲んで待ってろよ。積もる話もあるだろうしな。
He goes to the kitchen and puts on an apron. It's the place he's always been for the last year, no half year to be exact. A sight burned into my memory.
ありがとう。お言葉に甘えるわ。
そうしろそうしろ。あ、それとおかえり遠坂。ちっとも心配してなかったけど、いつも通りで安心した。
ええ、ただいまエミヤくん。そっちもいつも通りで嬉しいわ。
Then the master of the house briskly prepares dinner for a freeloader. Well then, I guess I'll look forward to seeing how much he's recovered in the last year.
調子良さそうじゃない。一時はどうなることかと思ったけど、あれなら相手が誰であろうとバレないかな。学校の方は問題なし？はい、おかげさまで一緒に卒業できました。
I'm not entirely sure what happened, but Rin had some sort of part to play in all of this, you know, according to Ilya. But it seems like a wish was granted here with the Holy Grail because really, Shirou shouldn't be alive here. Alright, then I probably don't need to step in anymore. Sakura never needed my help to begin with, but hopefully I was helpful in filing a leave of absence with school and smoothing things over with Miss Fujimura. And if you want to know why he's alive, it was only possible through magic. Shirou Emiya's body was completely destroyed. His magic circuits were thoroughly wrecked by Archer's arm invading his body and projecting past his limits. It was a death beyond even the power of the Holy Grail to heal. The reason he's so hale and hearty now is because the Shirou standing there is a copy. And no, that's not accurate either. Shirou's body died. That Holy Grail couldn't have resurrected his dead body. All the Lesser Grail, all Ilya could do, was a mystic called the Third Magic. She used that to revive his soul somehow. She brought him back and gave him an undamaged vessel. You might think that sounds crazy, but that's the Third Magic for you. I'm not talking about transferring a spiritual body or a mind alone into someone else's brain and controlling it. When a soul materialized by the Third Magic gains a body with human functions, it can completely remake it in the soul's image. Not the DNA of the flesh, but of the soul apparently. Ilya resurrected Shirou Emiya by reviving his soul and placing it in a raw body that hadn't become anything yet. But it was an incomplete body, so Ilya's third magic wasn't on the same level as the original, I think. A few days after the cavern collapsed, Ryder found Shirou looking a little bit different than he used to. Okay, she didn't find him so much as she plucked him or maybe pinched him from the rubble. It was a shock at first, to be sure, and it left me wondering how it was even possible. But when I think about it, when Shirou's cooking in the kitchen, he's being remote controlled by his living soul, allowing him to interact with our world. Things like memories, the brain, and magic circuits aren't located in the body but the soul, meaning that the vessel is no more than a motor function terminal, while the control system sits safely untouchable on the other side. Still, the first 6 months were repeated trial and error. Well, that's what Ilya said. He isn't a plant that will grow if you water it, nor are there any blueprints for him like a homunculus would have. In the end, we sold the entire Mato library to the association and bought a body that a renowned puppet master had left behind. getting him to where he is now. I hope this doesn't give you the wrong idea. Shirou is just as human as we are. He can get surgery at the hospital, medication works on him, and he'll die if he's killed. Well, it's typically how it goes, but hearing this shit, hard to tell sometimes, and there is the meme, of course. When a body is imbued with a soul, it enters a fixed state in exchange for recreating that soul. In other words, he's like a servant that can operate without a master. The only difference is that he's living in this era. He'll grow, and he'll go to heaven when he dies, and he'll make us delicious food. He is the same Shirou Emiya that I've always known.
でも元が中古だしな。何人か腕のいい人形師を当たってみたんだけど、今の素体よりいい出物はなかったわ。
I feel like they, and no issue with this, I feel like they kind of pulled a little bit of a Kingdom Hearts 3 here, but it's fine. I'm cool with it here.
あの素体を作ったっていう人にお願
And if
い
you
し
guys
よ
know
う
what
と
I'm
もしたけ
talking
ど、
about, then you
その
get it.
人封印指定を受けて教会から逃げ出したんだって。見つけるのは骨でしょうね。そうですか。けど先輩は今のままで問題ないって言ってますよ。魔力の通りが悪いだけで、あとは前よりいいくらいだって。私もそう思います。
Okay, Sakura. Uh-huh. No matter how good the body is, it'll be overwritten by its soul, so there might be parts that don't work as well. I don't think it would exceed the original's performance, though.
ちょっと待った。
What's Sakura blushing for?
さくら？そのですね。私もやりすぎかなって思うんですけど、私の体が。あ。
That's what she meant. I heard that Sakura's body is still feeling the after effects of Onrimayu. She may have severed her contract with Onrimayu, but she's still a Holy Grail. In fact, she's still connected to the other side. That enormous magical energy floods Sakura's body, so she needs to vent it every once in a while to maintain her body. Without the Greater Grail, Ryder can remain in the world thanks to Sakura's magical energy. But that still isn't enough to use it up, so she must be giving the excess to Shirou. Shirou's current body has few magic circuits. It's true that without Sakura's help, it might start to revert.
はあ、いろいろと込み入ってるのね、あなたたち。
Yeah.
はい、前途多難です。
Although I'm sure it poses a lot of problems to living a normal life, Sakura's constitution gives her a huge advantage as a mage.
って考えてみればすごいパーティーじゃない、私たち。
Shirou is a successful case of the third magic who will be able to master his reality marble with the proper training. Sakura can use a portion of the Holy Grail's powers. Ryder is just plain cheating, and I can more or less imitate the second magic. To be blunt, we're invincible. I want someone to start a Mages Association tournament. Do you think that there would be prize money if we swooped in and took first place? An easy 500,000? Pounds, of course. I'm Japanese, so no tax, please. Crap, I'm actually considering it. Then I'll be truly free and all my dreams will come true. I'll use the funds to reforge the jeweled sword, say goodbye to that dreary place and come back to this town. Then I'll be able to do this again.
まあ、無理か。人間地道が一番だし。
I give up on the idea completely. It sounds too easy to be honest. I like my current life, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it changes. Besides, I can't stay away forever. I couldn't possibly live a peaceful life in this small peaceful town with all these potential troublemakers around.
姉さん、なんか今邪悪な笑みをこぼしてましたけど。
She's in her own world here for a minute.
そう？勘がいいわね、さくら。
I stand up from my seat cushion. This is no time to laze around. I'm only here for 7 days, and I'm not going to waste an important meal.
シロ、手伝うから今度貸して。英国仕込みの腕前見せてあげる。
I shoot down his objections. I start to grin, fantasizing about stealing the show entirely, and put on the apron they kept ready for me.
さて。
I roll my sleeves and go into the kitchen. But before that, I remember what I wanted to confirm the most when I came back. It's been 2 years. I turned to my gentle, grown-up sister.
Sakura, 幸せ?
Wow. Wow. Okay, game. That freaking smacked me in the face there for a second. Her full-face smile is perfect in every way. That alone makes coming home worth it. And so I share in some of her happiness and look up at the blue sky. One day, winter ended and spring came. I noticed that cherry blossoms cover everything outside, leaving no vestiges of those cold days. We've gained enough to balance out what we lost and settled our accounts. So, our story in this town is over, but our story is just beginning. The credits will roll in the far, far future. For now, tomorrow's weather looks good, and my break has just begun. Let's embrace a new day and a new future. In my mind, I see a vision of ourselves leisurely walking down the hill. Now, let's go see the flowers this year, just like we promised. Ah, nice. That really came full circle there, didn't it? There we go. I cannot believe it, guys. Despite everything I was saying there, for a while even, we actually got a happy ending. I can't believe it. I mean, a lot was sacrificed, in a way. But here, like, I'm impressed. We were able to swing the craziest of comebacks. And so was Ryder. Remember, guys, I was understandably, like, afraid of Ryder. So the winter went by and spring came, nature's in full bloom, and there's nothing left that reminds you of the cold, hard days. Stash away both of what you lost and gained, for life continues on. Now then, the story that unraveled in this town has reached its conclusion. New stages and people are waiting for us. Well, at least I got to read all that, huh? Aw, man, look at that, guys. The credits were more or less like the same as what we saw for the normal ending, but to have the white backdrop and the petals falling, that was nice. And then that at the end, of course, to see Sakura. All right, guys, we did it. We have done all 3 endings, or all 3 routes. We've gotten all 5 endings, I guess I should say. Look at this. Look at this. The music, the backdrop, it's all new. Last episode. What's that? Did something else kind of unlock for us to, like, jump into here? I wasn't expecting that. Okay, well, besides that, looking at our ending list here, there we go. Return to spring. So, we've gotten all the endings there. There are a lot of bad endings to go and get. I was going to mention, like, hey, the playthrough isn't over, guys. I know it kind of seems like this is where I'd be wrapping it up and everything and sharing my thoughts about this and that, which I will do. I will share some thoughts here, but we're going to go back and we're going to get all these endings that I missed. We're going to go to the dojo quite a few times, it looks like. 13 more times, and we're definitely going to finish up these tiger stamps for sure. But I guess we also got to check out that last episode, whatever that is, which I guess we'll get to in the next episode, since, again, this isn't the end. This is definitely not the end of the playthrough yet. We have more endings to go and get, and then we will wrap it up. And sure, you know, there's a lot of choices that I still missed out on. I didn't see how some things may have gone differently, even so they didn't really have too much of an impact on really everything else, but that's for you guys to go and explore, and I'm doing as much as I feel like is okay, you know? As much as I'm willing to do, at least. But, guys, what a fun time, you know? Heaven's Feel, I was starting to think, it's a little slow, you know? It's very different. The vibe is completely different than both Fate and Unlimited Blade Works. And that was okay. I was totally fine with it. But after a while, I was thinking, I'm like, God damn, what's the point at this time, you know? Like, everything is just falling apart. Like, it's hard to really imagine, you know, a happy ending. And I was kind of envisioning of like, this is just the worst case scenario out of the 3 directions that things could have gone. And now I can't really argue that. There is definitely death and loss and sacrifices that have to be made in various ways for a lot of characters, servants, masters, etc. And it just depends on the route, because different events occur. Here, I felt like it was very impactful. You had a lot of innocent people getting kind of wrapped up into this one, because we had this very confusing surprise variable. And it wasn't just one variable. I would argue it's 2, with Zoken kind of coming into the picture, a brand new assassin being born of the assassin that Caster had made, which was surprising. I wasn't really expecting that. So we had that. We also had the shadow. We had Sakura's very, very dark, like, backstory and comeuppance, the way that she is set up, what she had going on inside of her, and the curse that was on Rimayu, the shadow that was sort of merging with her and trying to become real, to be born, and to really make a larger mess of things. Then there was also, again, Sakura's sins, what Shirou was willing to give up. He gave up who he was to save Sakura. There was no saving Sakura in this rendition of the story if he did not give up who he was, what he always stood for. And Archer gave us a huge hint in that too. This was a very thematical, I don't know how I want to really word it, but there was a lot of things put into perspective, I think, here, taking what we've gained from the previous routes, the previous renditions of the story, and throwing them in here, wrapping it all together in such a way. And there was some conflict. There was a lot of depression in this one to be had for sure, because again, it really didn't look like things would go in a happy direction, but I guess that's where true magic comes in. And we were really seeing that here being utilized quite a bit here at the end. The bad endings, I think, will really shed some light on a little bit more here of this story. I was told that there's a couple or so bad endings that are like they're the best, you know, like they are insane. So we've got quite a bit more to go for sure. Some more choices to make, and we'll see what we have going on here, you know? We'll see what is in store for us bad ending wise, and finish up Heaven's Feel for real. But story-wise with Heaven's Feel, we're done. The Let's Play, the playthrough here, almost done. I do have to say, it's really, I was trying to figure out a ranking of these 3 stories, and I kind of can't, because they all do things different. They do things better and worse than other routes, but they all do things different. Fate is a bit of a, you know, confusing but fun adventure, jumping into the Holy Grail War, jumping into Fate Stay Night, sort of introducing you, but also throwing a lot at you to, you know, get you through the story. It's enough, but you could tell things are missing. Unlimited Blade Works begins to fill in those gaps. It's got a lot more surprises going on. Things really go in a wild direction there. Big reveals. Overall fun time. Heaven's Feel sort of takes a step back. It takes longer to get things set up. It really puts into perspective, sets in that stone there that we've got some crazy shit going on, and things are slowly but surely falling apart, totally out of our grasp. And then things really get going. They really do, and once they do, it is full throttle to the floor. The pacing is great all the way to the end once that gets going, but downside to Heaven's Feel, I do have to say, is the pacing. I understand why they did it. It's a step back. It's sort of doing things a little different, but similarly, I would say, to the Fate route. but it's also clearing up everything. We finally get closure on Ilya's story. We get some closure on Kotomine other than him being, you know, a shitty guy. We get a little bit more understanding behind him. We even followed him a couple of times there. And that final fight that we had in this was beautiful. You gotta love a fist fight to end it all, you know? Fuck all the magic, the magecraft, the wacky, crazy bullshit that all these characters can do. At the end of it all, it was a fist fight. That is some good closure right there, I would say. I think we saw things get tidied up in such a way. Here, some characters didn't really get the spotlight that they did in other routes. Caster, Lancer, for example, they really didn't. They were kind of just thrown to the wind. We got a lot out of like Gilgamesh and these characters and previous routes, but here the spotlight were on different characters. Even Ryder. Really great turnaround for Ryder. My whole perspective of her is completely different. It is ridiculous. But I can't really rank these routes, and I don't think I should try. I think maybe once I watch the Heaven's Feel movies, which I will get started on soon, maybe I'll have a different, you know, a different idea if I wanted to. I had a lot of fun with Unlimited Blade Works, I will say that. And I think Fate and Heaven's Feel were also fun in their own respective ways. That might be the only way I can rank them, but it's still kind of vague, isn't it? Characters, I think all the main heroines were a lot of fun to follow. Like I said earlier, Ilya was so much fun to follow. Whenever she was brought up, it kind of sucked that we didn't get a whole lot of her in Unlimited Blade Works, but we did get a nice peek into her past and the pain that she went through with Berserker. That was pretty cool. Sakura, I like her character, but maybe this just isn't like, you know, the type of story that I'm looking into. It's not the story that I want, so therefore Sakura wouldn't necessarily be a number one out of the main three, but she's still fine. And I mean no ill will or anything like that. She's probably just not for me. Rin, I really like her character, her tsundere shit, and her flaws, because she's far from perfect, and we saw a lot of her flaws really throughout all the routes, but definitely in Unlimited Blade Works. But, you know, duh. Saber, I really enjoyed her involvement in Fate, Unlimited Blade Works. It was heartbreaking that we didn't get too much more of that here in Heaven's Feel, but I feel like there may be an ending here near the very end that may give us just a little bit more heartbreak with Saber, a little bit more to her. And, you know, for better or for worse, right? But I think all the characters, similar to the routes, had like a really, like, it's hard to rank them. They've got their pros and cons and the different situations and all that. I think Sakura got a little shafted with the other two routes, but that definitely created some curiosity as to what role she would be playing here in Heaven's Feel. So I definitely dug that. I just think Rin, I just enjoyed her involvement with everything, her flaws, how she can come to the conclusion she does. She's a bit of a pain in the ass, which characters should definitely be that way. And that's why I always saw her as like a pretty top character. I can see why she's like a number one OG tsundere for like a lot of people. I feel like I'm finally like, after all these years of, you know, being into anime and all this other weeb culture shit, I finally get it. Like, I finally caught up. So I'm glad I was able to. And while we're not done with this playthrough yet, 130 episodes ago, a little over a year ago, I finally decided to jump into the Fate series. I had never touched it before, except for maybe trying out Fate Go, maybe, at one point, but I didn't know what was going on, and it was immediately dropped. So I'd say that doesn't count. But to finally jump into the Fate series, and I'm just so glad I did. I'm really glad I gave it a shot, because 130 episodes ago, when I recorded the first episode, I was getting over like a small cold or whatever, and I just thought, you know what? Let's just do a one-off or two. Let's do the prologue and see how it goes. And the rest is history. It is crazy. Absolutely mind-boggling that, you know, here we are, you know? So guys, thank you all for watching up to this point. If this is all you wanted to see of my playthrough, and you don't really care about the bad endings, then thank you for joining me for this ride so far. For the rest of you that would like to stick around for a few more episodes of this and we, get the rest of these bad endings, then you're more than welcome. But this is basically the conclusion of the playthrough, other than just we're going to go back through and we're going to find a little more extra before we're truly done, before we end the playthrough for good. But just as the story has concluded, you can kind of say that the Let's Play has as well. But I'll still be here, and I will be hopping into the next title, the sequel to Fate Stay Night. To those of you who actually have me added on Steam, you probably have already seen that I picked it up just a few days ago, now that the winter sale is going on. So it's in my library, it's ready to go. So next year, we will be jumping into the next one, into the next title. So if you guys want more Fate content, you know what to do. Subscribe and, be ready, be on the lookout next year. But I'm also recording some of the other stuff that you would, regularly see here in this series. I'm getting ready to do the next route in Tsukihime, and we're in the very beginning of Witch on the Holy Night. If those titles interest you, Type Moon and all, or anything else here that I'm recording on the channel, feel free to check it out. Thank you all for tuning into this episode, any of the others of the past 131. I think this is episode 131, so if you enjoyed any of these episodes, if you enjoyed this one, leave a like. Again, subscribe so you guys are ready to go. I truly appreciate you guys joining along, commenting your thoughts and everything. That's always one of my favorite parts of doing these long-ass playthroughs. As the story unravels itself, you guys do lend a helping hand, but also you all add so much more to the experience. So thank you very much. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode and the next Fate playthrough. Take it easy, everyone.